What's going on, guys? Pete over here with the Face Off Sports Network. I am back. It is Thursday night. We have Thursday night football coming up. Week one is in the books. We are moving on here to week number two. Super excited to be here with you guys tonight. We're going to talk start sits. We're going to talk about the game tonight, any betting props that we like, as well as just, answer any questions that you might have. Talk about some recent NFL news and things that have kind of going on right now in the NFL. I'm not going to be here solo completely tonight. I believe I might have a co-host, but if not, it just might be me. And if that's the case, that's not a problem at all either. Give me 1 second here. Feel free to send in any questions that you have, and we'll get this ball rolling. Also, I do want to also note that after this show, there's going to be a second show following this for a Thursday Night Football preview with some betting and the matchup and all that with William Stevenson and our buddy Ernie here as well. So that's all queued up and ready to go. So you can hop into that lobby once we're done here. Got a couple people in the chat, going to shout them out. Jamie, what's going on? Red Focus, Greg with the guns. Yes, sir. Shout out to Anthony. And let's start getting to some of these questions. So Jonathan Santiago said, trade T. Higgins and Ridley for Nico Collins. My wide receivers are London, Higgins, Ridley, Hunter, Coleman, and J-Mo. Having Nico Collins and London would be a pretty nasty combination. You would be sitting there looking at Hunter as your wide receiver 3, Coleman and J-Mo. We're not talking dynasty and we're just talking redraft. I'm good with this trade. You're tearing up and moving off of Ridley. I think Ridley's going to have better days for sure. It was a tough matchup for him last week against Denver. He did get his opportunities. He just really didn't make the most of those opportunities. Nico Collins in that offense, I have some concerns as well with the offensive line, to be completely honest with you. But the offensive line was a mess last year, and Nico was able to be good. CJ Stroud wasn't even that bad last week when I watched the tape over. I just think ultimately that defense was just really good, and Nico did really not get a lot of time. So I do have a second host in the mix for tonight. I'm going to pull him up right now. Chev, what's going on, man? How are we doing?
Hello. How are you?
I'm doing good. How about yourself, man?
Hey, listen, I'm ready. It still feels like the Christmas feeling. My fantasy teams aren't doing shitty. So it's still the Christmas feeling of football being back is just primo right now. So yeah. I can't wait.
Is that the hat that has the little thread on the lid?
No, it doesn't have the thread on front. I
Oh,
wish it
okay.
did. That would be real dad official.
I got that one. Unfortunately, my Broncos did beat your Titans last week. We did.
It's really, really and truly, honestly, you guys, there was really no winner from this.
Yeah, it was a bad game for us too.
Like we were all losers for having to sit and just anxiously watch. Me more so because I had to watch an organization that has been known to just fucking fail. Absolutely fail. Can I cuss on here?
Yeah, you can say whatever you want, man.
All right. Yeah. Just fucking fail quarterbacks. And I was like, hey, we got a guy that just knows how to groom quarterbacks. He had young Joe Burrow. He was with Matt Stafford. It's like, it just turns out that it's like your dad growing up and being a mechanic. And you don't know how to do shit about cars. So it was incredibly bad. We're not here to talk about the Titans, though.
No, but maybe those guys, Matt Stafford and Burrow, were also just that fucking good that
Cam Ward is phenomenal.
No, I liked what I saw from Ward. I think the moment got a little too big for him at the end. He was very poised at the beginning. I just think at some point, like a young quarterback, you got to help him out. And he really didn't get a lot of help.
So it's the reps thing, right? So we're talking about the dude who's the all-time touchdown leader in NCAA history, and you get there through reps. Like he's just never been a quarterback in a hostile environment against one of the toughest defenses in the NFL, probably the toughest if we're talking like all three levels, having a dude a dude who's a math changer, at each level. So yeah, he's gonna. I thought he played really well outside of the fact that he took those sacks when we were in field goal range and knocked us out of field goal range. That's my only gripe. And I
Yeah,
touched on
that was yeah, we talked about it, and it was tough to see there. I do want to mention there are a couple of people that seem to like you on the show. Jamie's here. What's up, Jamie?
Jamie, my guy.
My guy Greg McCown. Stephen McMahon is in the house as well. And yeah, so we're gonna get some of these chats. The comments are already filling up, guys. You know how it goes. I mean, if the chat starts to fill up really like a lot, we'll start to try to go through quicker and not give as much analysis for the players. And then, if of course, if you send a super chat in, we will pull you up to the front of the line and make sure that we get you answered. And we'll also make sure to give you a deeper dive into your question. Let's hop into the first question here. I know SBL, this isn't really a question. It's more of Evan Ingram. Ingram did practice limited yesterday. I do want to say that what do you say?
Full today.
Full today. Yeah, which is a little surprising to me. That Colts defense has a lot of injuries right now too. That secondary is really bad. So I'm interested to see how Evan Ingram does. I'll talk about where I have him ranked after we start to get into it a little bit. But let's pull up Jamie's question first, and then we do have a super chat, so we're going to get to that in just 1 second. Joshua, just hold off. He said, pick 2 to start this week: Fields, May, Herbert, Nix. I happen to have Drake May and Justin Herbert the highest, and then followed by Fields and then Bo Nix right after. Where do you see this?
The safest play is to go May and Herbert. I'm really interested in Fields versus May, mostly because Fields, like that run, it didn't seem like Baltimore had a proper answer for the quarterback run game last week.
Steelers, you mean?
Buffalo. Sorry. Against the Ravens. I'm talking matchups of Justin Fields.
Yeah, because you have May against the Bills. I got you.
Yeah, Buffalo did not seem to have an answer for Baltimore's quarterback run game. So I'm curious to see if that's just kind of a function of their defense, and they're going to just you'll let a running back have more of a field day as opposed to letting the quarterback kill you. So Fields does intrigue me here, and I mean that's a degree of difficulty matchup. Let's be honest. The Steelers are not an easy matchup. I believe were they like the number 2 defense in your week 1 rankings?
I had the Steelers a little farther down. I had the Steelers number 1 last week. I have them at
well, I'm saying so they were the number 1 DST play because this is a low over under, and we thought it wasn't like they were going to be really tough, and so Justin Fields went out and did it. So I'm anxious to see. Like now, it's another what we think should be a tough matchup for Buffalo, but I mean, they have flaws in terms of their run defense. Is this just Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson are generational? Because Justin Fields is on the same level as Lamar Jackson, like running wise. So that's what intrigues me.
Yeah, Matt Milano looked a little slow in that game too.
I
didn't really like what I saw from Buffalo. What I would say about Drake May is I think I saw they only ran the ball like 2 times in the second half. They didn't really do him any favors. Miami's defense is terrible, and for what it's worth, I thought Drake May looked pretty good to start the game.
Yes, he did. He did.
So, but I think we're in alignment then. So I think it's Herbert, and then it can go either way between Fields and May. For what it's worth,
May is safer, in my opinion.
Yeah, May feels safer. I think my rankings messed this up because I just published my rankings, and I did move Bo Nix up, but I'm not seeing that being reflected. So I got to make sure that updated on our sheet for the rankings that just went out. I have Nix here at 15. Brock Purdy's still in here. So if anybody is listening that just got the Patreon link, I do have to make that adjustment. I have Bo Nix here. I'm putting Bo Nix ahead of Trevor Lawrence this week. I'm putting him ahead of Mahomes, and I'm putting him right next to Prescott. I have Dak at 10. I have Nix at 11. I have Mahomes at 12. I have Lawrence at 13. I have Baker at 14, and I have Jordan Love at 15. Hopefully that didn't mess up my other rankings, but I'll have to take a look after this show. But let's move on because we do have a super chat here. And the whole point of those is to not keep you waiting. So Joshua with a $2 super said, pick 3, Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, Zay Flowers, Debo Samuel, and PPR. I happen to be a little higher than consensus on Tyreek Hill this week. No Christian Gonzalez, it looks like, again in that game. And Patriots run defense is good, but I don't know. I think ultimately I know Miami's a little scary. You're obviously starting Justin Jefferson. Tyreek Hill, I have here as my wide receiver 24. Zay Flowers, I have as my wide receiver 19. And Debo, I have at wide receiver 26. So I think Debo is safer than Tyreek, but ultimately I'm still going to go Tyreek and probably bench Debo here.
Oh wow. Yeah. Let's see. So I've got Debo wide receiver 19. I've got Tyreek Hill 25. I've
Okay.
got Zay at 16 and Justin Jefferson at like 6 or 7.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, just following the order, it would be Tyreek Hill would be on my bench.
Oh, okay. So you have Tyreek on the bench and you would play Debo over Tyreek.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we're both higher on consensus than consensus on Debo. Right now, Debo is ranked 31 on consensus. I have him at 26, and it sounds like you have him at, did you say 19?
Yeah.
It's pretty high. Okay.
Yeah. It's aggressive.
Yeah,
It's
no, I
aggressive.
mean, I think
Listen,
this game
listen, the
tonight
Ozempic shots,
should be a good game.
in the off season. That's what he's back. We're back.
I think again, just like the Keenan Allen thing last year, people just get so, blinded by a silly narrative that gets made, and that they just let it cloud their judgment, man.
Mhm.
Fredo, what's going on, buddy? Appreciate the super chat. Let's see. Fredo said Calvin Austin or Tyreek Hill. Well, if we're at this
What a
point in week
wild
2,
time we
and
live
and
in,
I
boy.
and I know you are a Calvin Austin fan, if you wanna share, you're more than welcome to, but Calvin Austin, Tyreek Hill, I like Calvin Austin. I think Aaron Rodgers might be the best thing for Calvin Austin. I'm not there yet to bench Tyreek Hill for him, but I get it. I mean, Tyreek Hill doesn't feel like a great play at the moment, but I'm still not benching him for Calvin.
I don't think you can bench him for Calvin. I mean, like the returns are the penalty for it seems like it's going to be smaller and smaller. Like we got to let go of the fact that Tyreek Hill had 1,700 yards in 2022 and 2023. Like they're just not. They don't function their offense that way anymore. We have 18 or basically 17 games, almost a full season of information of them just changing the way that they play offense. It didn't even work last year. Like last year, it was Tyreek Hill caught a pass, and then week 1 he goes 80 yards against the Jags, and then we haven't seen like a 30-yard gain from him in almost a calendar year. So as I'm saying this, I'm like, oh, cool, like we're due. But also trying to predict when that's gonna be is just not. That's not something I want to spend my time on.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. Fredo, I
But still,
honestly,
Tyreek
if
Hill.
you want to send another question in, I'd be more than happy to answer that and pull you back up to the line if you have another one. Alicia, appreciate it. Said like and subscribe. Appreciate that. Let's get back to, I guess, where we are in the comments here. Javi said, Pete, God bless you, bro. Always a joy and a blessing to see what you're doing. Appreciate it, man. William Stevenson's in the house. SWL said Matthew Golden or Evan Ingram, half point PPR.
Ooh,
I'm going to go with Evan Ingram on this one just because I am higher on consensus with Golden this week, actually. I have Golden at wide receiver 37 and ECR has him at 47.
are
I
you
think he's
serious?
going to have a good night. Yeah.
Yeah, I hold on. I kid you not. I'm looking at. let me go back to my rankings real quick. Let me just slide over here.
But yeah, I like Ingram this week. I think he has a good. I know it's half PPR, but I think he's got a chance to score a touchdown this week
Yeah,
against that defense.
he's in my top 40. So we're very closely aligned. He's between 30. I don't know off the top of my head. I had to pull up the app. But yeah, he's between
What app are
36
you
and
using
40.
again?
So I've got the league champ app
Right,
where we're
right.
doing the sweepstakes and all that stuff. So I just put all like I do my rankings on a spreadsheet and then I put them in the app and just enter all the contests every week.
Yeah, you have to remind me about that.
Yeah,
I want to get a couple of my guys on there.
yeah.
Iggy.
So
Yeah, I mean, so are you taking Ingram or Golden though?
I'm
It's
gonna
a
take
half
Ingram.
PPR.
I'm
Yeah.
taking Ingram.
Okay.
It's a much safer bet. And I think one, the drives that got shortened because it's like there were 4 drives that got cut short because of turnovers. So you can't really there's no game flow. Like you're not getting your normal play count. You're not getting into a rhythm. You're just trying to win the football game. And it's like, oh, this went from a hey, we need to execute to just hey, we need to just not lose this and just stay baseline. Hey, they're gonna lose it for themselves. We just have to not lose it. Like give it back to them.
Sure.
So
Yeah, I mean,
I
at that
think
point, this is what the Packers are going to do this year, though. I mean, they're going to play keep away. They're going to play good defense. They're going to run the ball with Josh Jacobs. Um, I'm okay. I'm not overly concerned about Matthew Golden because I didn't think it was a good matchup for him to begin with last week, and it's
mhm,
his first game as a rookie. So I'm not ready to sound the alarms yet. Iggy said PPR, Golden, Metcalf, Sutton, sit
Golden.
one. Yeah, Golden here. That one's a pretty easy one. Jamie said like and subscribe. Appreciate that. Yes, guys, if you haven't already, make sure you like the show. It helps us out tremendously. Fredo, $2 super said Jaden Daniels or Jalen Hurts. I mean, Jaden Daniels tonight, prime time against a really good defense. Both these guys play good defenses. Um, a lot of times when these are close, I generally just like to take the home team quarterback. But I mean, Jalen Hurts is they're both on the road, so um, my heart tells me Jalen Hurts in this still over Jaden Daniels. I just trust that offense to move the football more against a good defense than I do, the Washington Commanders who have some, don't have as much talent. So I would take Jalen over Jaden this week.
Yeah. I mean, he's literally lit the Chiefs up the last 2 times that he's played them. One being
Yeah.
the Super Bowl, the other time being in 2023, and then in the Super Bowl in 2022, he set the record for quarterback rushing yards
Yep.
against in a Super Bowl. So yeah, it's Jalen Hurts. This is I don't
It's a
think
big
people
game
realize
too. It's a big
this is
game.
both of them are huge games, but this is
Yep.
a degree of difficulty matchup for Jaden Daniels. Like this is not going to be a walk in the park. I think Green Bay's defense is going to be one of the top 5 units in the league this year, especially if Michael Parsons, Rashawn Gary, they've got some stuff to figure out on the back end. But
Sure.
this is not a great matchup for Jalen or Jaden Daniels, in my opinion.
Now, Connerly struggled a little bit, the right tackle rookie, this past week one. Again, it's one
Mhm.
week, but I have some concerns. Fantasy Pros will not let me move Brock Purdy out of my rankings. I don't know
Oh
what the
wow.
hell's going on, and they won't save me moving Knicks up in my rankings. I don't know if this is a bug or whatever, but again, guys, I'll have to make sure that those rankings are updated because I know I just shot it out there, um, but I'll have to check. Paul, sorry, I didn't mean to jump you there. Paul said Pearsall, Henderson, or Dunze. I like Henderson this week against Miami.
Mhm.
I'll take Henderson over Pearsall, and that's hard because I'm high on Pearsall this week, but with Mac Jones, I think that Saints defense is a little bit better than people are going to give them credit for. Um, so yeah, it hurts me to say, and they're both on the road. But I'll take Henderson against the defense that's really bad. And I mean, you got five receptions for Henderson his first game as a rookie. I only expect that to continue to go up, and I
Yeah.
don't know if I trust the Mac Jones Pearsall connection just yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm
No.
starting Pearsall with confidence.
Yeah.
That's me trying to make a case just as to why I wouldn't over the two. But Odunze's the most obvious man out here for me.
So I tend to agree. I do. I think that Henderson right now is going to give you for week 2 until we see how Mac Jones plays out. Now Mac Jones was fine that back stretch of the season for the Jaguars, but we need to see how he's going to perform in this system. Like Brock, I don't think people realize the heavy lifting that Brock Purdy is doing, like functioning in that offense behind that offensive line. It's not
Yeah.
great. Like these are just like Christian McCaffrey's a singularity of a talent. That's why their run game has been so solid over the last couple years. But Trevion Henderson represents like really good floor with the PPR like pass catching, and then they're going if they just have more time of possession. that's more opportunities for this dude to make your week in one play because that's what he is.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think we can move on. We do have a super chat. Gorilla Joe, super chat, super flex. Need two for OP and a flex. OP, what does that mean?
I guess that's the
It's not
offensive
all
position,
positions.
or like is that the super
Well, I'm
flex?
assuming he can start two here, so let's just
Yeah,
assume because Cam
yeah,
Ward's in the mix here. So,
right.
um, Cam Ward, Pickens, Jalen Warren. This is pretty easy for me. It's Cam Ward and it's Pickens. I like the matchup for Miami this week, but I'm not comfortable starting Waddle. Give me the safer floor and Cam Ward, who has a tough matchup again, but I'm still gonna go with Cam Ward at home, um, and I'll take Pickens as well.
Yeah, I'm on same. We're in the same boat. I'm going Cam Ward and Pickens.
Yeah, Warren might give you that safe floor that Cam Ward gives you, maybe around 10 points. Seattle's run defense really really good for week 1. Waddle is the highest upside play here outside of Pickens, but again, you're the floor. We just don't know where the floor is with him right now, and
Right.
so that's concerning.
Do we have information on what like that shoulder injury, or has he been practicing fully?
I think he's going to be
Yeah.
fine this week. I think he's going to be. I haven't read anything to say that he's not. I do find it frustrating that the NFL doesn't have like a clean place where they upload all of the injury reports that come out for teams. I find that to be pretty nuts that there's not a database for that. You have to go to like each individual team. But from what I saw, I didn't see anything that said that he wasn't playing.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
he was dealing with a shoulder injury, limited on Wednesday. I don't see an update just yet, but I think he's going to play. And it looks like again, Christian Gonzalez didn't practice Wednesday. It looks like he's probably going to miss. If I had to guess, because that's a hamstring.
Right.
Okay. Steven said, keep Ingram or grab Fannin if he's available on waivers. I already have Tyler Warren. Yeah, I think you're keeping Evan Ingram here. I get it. I think I could be completely wrong about the Fannin thing, and I like Fannin, and I think he could be good. But I think week 1, the problem that I have is there's so many tight ends that everybody wants to go pick up. We know historically tight ends in fantasy football outside of the elite ones, there is not a very large drop off on an average points per game between like tight end 7 or 6 and tight end 20, right? Like minuscule margins. So unless we think Fannin is going to be a top 5, top 6 play, I could be completely wrong. I know there's a lot of flashy stats out there from week 1 that he looked really good, and he did look very good. But I don't expect that to be the norm on a week by week basis. I think there was a matchup issue. I think they targeted that matchup issue against the Bengals, and they got him out there in space as a playmaker. He's also playing in the slot a ton. David Njoku plays in the slot a ton too, and so does Judy. I'm not going to drop Evan Ingram in an offense that I think can be top 15 this year for Fannin, who I mean, at best, is he like the fifth in opportunity share on this offense? If you count in Quinshon Judkins and Dylan Sampson and Cedric Tillman and Jerry Judy and Njoku, fifth. So, I don't know how you feel about this, Chev, and just forgetting about Ingram alone, but Fannin, and I like Fannin, but like I'm not going over my skis to go drop a bunch of fab on a tight end that I don't. I just feel like it happens all the time with week 1, and it's a tight end for Christ's sake. Like
Right.
like I don't know. Maybe I'm
So
off here. And
no,
I know he looked
I don't
good, but
I okay. So there's this very layered and very like nuanced discussion that has to come along with this. Like the simple answer is, hey man, if you have Evan Ingram, like you don't want to bet like you don't want to throw that to the side because that's going to be a sure thing and way more stable on a week to week
and you're
basis,
giving him to
whether or not
somebody else.
yeah, you're passing the buck. Now you have your tight end in Tyler Warren, who we have a little bit more clarity on. So why not just stay with Evan Ingram, because Harold Fannin Jr. could be anything. He could even be Evan Ingram. Now the Browns played the most 12 personnel. That's one back, two tight ends in week 1. Highest rate in the league. The highest rate in the league. So I think that he's going to be out there quite a bit. I mean, they
Sure.
spent, roughly 36 plays, like half their snaps in 12 personnel. So he's going to be out there and he's going to be involved. I don't think that it's going to be sticky week over week. So if this is a redraft league, like I'm not dropping a ton of fab to go pick up Harold Fannin Jr. It just doesn't make sense. Like I saw somebody drop Zach Ertz in one of the leagues that I'm in. So just go check the waiver wire. If you want, like, you've already got your tight end situation figured out. So I would probably, in all honesty, just spend more time like trying to find a more relevant bench spot for you.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too, right? I'd rather take a chance on some more higher upside players, and I don't even think it's a bad question. So I don't even mean to say
No,
it as if like it's a bad question. I just think like this is just what happens sometimes. We just get super excited about like these week one performances that it clouds our judgment. Like I'm looking at it now, right? And I'm gonna share my screen um really quick. Let's see.
well, Pete, the thing is like it's the only new information we have to go off of. So everybody's like,
Sure.
this is sticky. This is what's going to happen. And then everything, and there, we could have a regression to the mean with, performances in week two. And now it's like, hey, let's not overreact. Let's trust what got us here, like your process that led you to picking Evan Ingram and Tyler Warren, for lack of a better, just whatever you want to call it. But
Sure.
I just don't. I don't think that you gain anything from a roster perspective. Like you're not adding points to your lineup by making that move.
Right. And look, there's the possibility. Maybe you sit there and say, is there a chance that I don't know that Njoku gets injured, traded? Sure. Like, look at this on a points per game basis. This is last year. After the top like 4 or 5 tight ends, right? You get to Taysom Hill, fine tight end, 12.92. But then everybody's sitting like you're talking about like you start to get here, and it's like it's not a big drop off on a points per game. Do you think Harold Fannon's going to be elite this year? No. Could he be elite next year? Sure. But I don't, I'm not there. But I appreciate the question, and I think it's fair because there's a lot of people that want to know our thoughts on Harold Fannin. So, totally get it. I think it's a fair question. Alfredo, what's up, man? Super chat, $5 said, start Lawrence or Caleb on my flex, and on my flex, Tet or Pollard. I'm starting Trevor Lawrence against Cincinnati this week, pretty comfortably. Caleb goes against Detroit on the road. I think Detroit's defense is a little bit better than people think, and ultimately, it's a get right game for them. You might say the same about Caleb and them, but that's also a young team. And then as for Tet and Pollard, I'm going to go ahead and start Tet over Pollard this week. I don't hate the matchup for Pollard. I don't love it either. Rams run defense, what was not that great against Nick Chubb last week. And Pollard's better than I think people give him credit for. But ultimately, I'll take Tet against the Cardinals here. You?
Yeah. No, I mean I'm going Tet against the Cardinals. Tetaroa, the big pineapple. I'm going with Tetaroa this week. He's my wide
Oh,
receiver.
sorry, Tetarello. Sorry, I know I said you're not supposed to say Tet.
That's you do whatever you want. I try to make it a habit of not doing it.
I hear you.
Uh,
Yeah.
it's yeah, so I'm going Trevor and I'm going Trevor Lawrence and I'm going Tetaroa. Big pineapple.
Okay. Okay. Alfredo, appreciate the super chat as always, my friend. If you have any more questions, let us know. Let's go back to we got to catch up here a little bit. So we'll try to go through some of these a little quicker to get caught up here. Jared Fortin said, need running back depth. Any sleepers that may be on waivers? I think we talked about this. I think Ray Davis is a guy that you can maybe take a shot on with the injury to the hamstring of James Cook. So that's fair. And yeah, DJ Giddens also good. I will say Giddens got some time in garbage time. I think JT is going to get the lion's share of that workload unless there's an injury. But it was nice to see them give Giddens some touches last week.
Oh,
Alex,
he's gonna be a stud.
I like Giddens a lot. It's just hard. He's behind JT, but they
Right.
maybe very well could move on. Just to get out of that contract that they like
Yep.
Giddens. Alex says, deep league. Who should I start? Flex Dobbs or Tucker Craft? Give me the guy that scored a touchdown last week. Dobbs is going to be a safe play, and I don't know. I mean, Dobbs could score some touchdowns. I think it's tough when you're going back and forth between these guys in this offense. I'll take Tucker Kraft though, who scored last week, and I think they're going to make it a point to continue to try to get him going a little bit.
You know the answer to this question for me, brother.
I know. It's Tucker Kraft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't realize. I thought I said it without saying, but yeah, guy.
Yeah.
Alex Tucker Kraft.
Yeah, I know. Alicia said, "Hey guys, what's up, Alicia?" Access MIA said PPR flex Jaden Reed, Cup, Tillman, or Charbonnet. Also flexing Walker ? Yeah, I mean Kenneth Walker. I was hard on him all off season. I'm still confident starting him this week. I would go with Tillman here over Jaden Reed and Cooper Cup. That's where I'm at. I like the matchup for the Browns. I think Jerry Jeudy's going to draw coverage after talking a lot of shit this week. And ultimately, I'll go with Tillman here, who scored a touchdown last week. I actually started Tillman in some of these lineups that I had. So,
oh yeah, it's Cedric Tillman. His coming out party was against the Ravens last year, and it seems like they have some secondary issues that they got to get figured out. I mean, maybe just Jair Alexander, maybe just removing Jair Alexander from the lineup is probably the answer. But yeah, they got some stuff to get figured out defensively, like secondary wise.
Yeah. You comfortable with Walker?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You know me, I love Kenny Three Sticks. There's two things at play here. One, I think we have to accept that Zach Charbonnet is going to go from being around 10 touches a game when Kenneth Walker's healthy to around like 13 or 14. We need to accept that into our hearts right now. This is probably going to play out like a Tevin Coleman, Devontae Freeman situation, like from Kyle Shanahan's days way back in, with the Falcons. Like that's the way that I see this probably playing out. So yeah, I'm perfectly comfortable with Kenneth Walker. And then the other thing is he didn't play at all in the preseason and he didn't practice hardly at all. So you're not going to give him more touches than the dude who's just been busting his ass the entire time and been looking
Chev,
outstanding.
Why didn't he practice?
You know why he didn't practice.
That's my problem. But I hear you. I'm with you.
Like I said,
I have him in my top 20. I have him in my top 20 this week still.
Yeah. He's my 20, either 19 or 20. But
yeah,
this is
22.
This is the thing to me, Pete. I think that he's going to be way more like it's just going to be way more of a timeshare than we initially let on. Like Ryan Grubb, for all his flaws, did just use the shit out of Kenneth Walker. Yep. It was almost exclusive when he was healthy. So
I think Charbonnet's good. I think a lot of people dynasty-wise, they hyped him up a little too much coming out. But ultimately, I think Charbonnet's a good player. I think he's a good player. He's a good pass pro. He gets north and south very, very well. And that's the one thing about Kenneth Walker is, he's very good at not going north and south, but sometimes it bites him a little bit.
Well, yeah, it's his game log. If you look at his carries, it's going to be 0, 1, 0, 1, -2, 1, 45, 0, 1, 2, 3, like 0, 2, 21. Like it's going to be 18 carries for 92 yards, and the 92 yards are going to come on like 4 plays.
Yeah, he's a big play threat. That's for sure. Now, we do have a super chat from Jared Fortin. I do want to pull up Matt because he's back in the studio. He's going to join us as well. Matt, what's going on, man?
Nothing much, fellas. How we doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good.
Nice to meet you. I love your work on Twitter.
Hey, thanks, man. Putting in that work, trying to catch up to you.
Hey, listen, don't go backwards, brother. But also, I'll never challenge you on coverages either.
Yeah. It's tough because we got Coach in our group, and that guy he analyzes everything, so got to be careful.
But cool. Well, we'll pull up Jared's super chat here. He said pick up one player here: Hollywood Brown, Keenan Allen, Wandale, PPR. Drop Caleb for Giddens. I think it matters more of like I look at Hollywood and I thought Hollywood was going to have a pretty solidified role in this offense, regardless of the injuries. Worthy practice today. Looks like he's trying to work his way back. If you told me the next couple of weeks, who would you rather have? I'll tell you Hollywood Brown because I wasn't impressed by Kelsey. I think Keenan Allen's going to be steady Eddie. He's going to be a guy that's going to give you anywhere from 10 to 15 a week. Hollywood Brown, I think, has a chance to have more volume and have bigger splash plays. But he's a little more risky. But I don't even know if he's risky because the dude had like 16 targets last week. Wan'Dale Robinson is definitely not the guy I'm adding out of the three, as much as I like Wan'Dale. So that's for me. And then for the running backs between Caleb and Giddens, I would sit there and say, if you're hoping for a guy to help you out sooner, it's probably Caleb Johnson. So I would roster Caleb. But if you don't need either of these guys to help you out, I'd rather go with Giddens. Because I think if there's a chance JT misses time, which he misses time about 4 games a year, you're going to get a top 20 play in Giddens for a couple of weeks if JT goes down. That's how I look at it. If you're looking for one of these guys to be a starter for you, I would hold on to Caleb. Matt, since you're fresh to the show here, why don't you give us your take?
Well, I hate for you to get some more props here, but Pete, you were someone that talked about Hollywood Brown a lot this offseason, and I think he finds himself in a great opportunity. So
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'd pick Hollywood here. The 16 targets, that matters to me, and I don't really care if Worthy plays or not. I thought he looked like the best one out there. I think he's going to continue to get the opportunities. You mentioned Keenan Allen, a steady Eddie. I think he's just that. Like, he's a walking like 8 to 11 points, I think, in a PPR league. Wan'Dale, I'm not excited to play him at all. Coach and I always joke if he's the classic guy that's going to get you 12 targets, 10 catches, and 10 yards. So be careful when you play him. And then as far as Caleb for Giddens, I'm not doing that move. I mean, I do like Giddens. I think he's a great handcuff, but I think we just slow the roll a little bit, see what happens with Caleb Johnson going forward, because It was week 1. Lots of things can happen.
Yeah, well, and Caleb projects to have a more defined role than Giddens does. Giddens only way Giddens is going to have a role is if there's an injury.
Yeah.
I mean, even if they run the ball and they're successful, I mean, he's still second behind JT no matter what. Maybe
Yes.
Caleb Johnson comes on. There's a chance he could take that role. That's not crazy.
I'm with you, Chev.
Yeah, I lean that way too. I would keep Caleb Johnson just because if this run game is ineffective as it was in week 1, like they're going to start turning over new stones to try to establish their presence on the ground. Wan'Dale Robinson is not even close to being an option here for me. So, I'm gonna go with Hollywood this week. I mean, it's a little bit safer, but I think there's a lot to Keenan. There's a lot to Keenan Allen and being back with Justin Herbert and knowing just him understanding the route, the body language of his routes. Like, it just makes a difference. Like, it's been such an underrated signing, but also Hollywood is going to be the safer floor play on a week in, week out basis, just because for these next 5 weeks, we probably, most likely, from what I understand, Xavier Worthy is going to have to do probably a couple weeks of rehab to see if the shoulder is going to be stable enough for them to then evaluate whether or not he's going to have surgery. So we've got at least a 2 or 3 week window where there's Hollywood and Travis Kelce in the passing game, and Jalen Royals isn't even practicing. So I think that Hollywood's much safer from a floor perspective, but Keenan Allen is like, they're right there. It's tit for tat for me.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with you there. All right. So I'm going to say this. We're about 30 minutes behind on the chat. So what we'll do is this, guys. If you are still here, because I don't want to answer questions for people that are not here, I'm going to go back to, let's call it, we'll go to Keith Tapp, who's at the 7 p.m. Eastern time mark. If you are still here, resend in your question and we will get back to it. And if you've been waiting, I'm sorry. I don't want to answer questions of people that aren't here. So just resend in your question and we'll try to get through some of these a little faster. Keith Tapp said, who to flex 10-team PPR, double flex. JCM, Tillman, Quentin Johnson, Rome Odunze. I think you're starting Krosky Merritt. And then it's between Rome and Stredrick Tillman for me. I like Tillman's matchup this week. I could go either way. I have Rome ahead of Tillman, so I don't want to be too much of a homer because I love Tillman, but I'll roll with Rome this week. Both guys scored touchdowns. I think both guys have a decent chance to have solid weeks. Matt.
Yeah, your pick shocked me. That was closer than I thought it would be. I'm going with Jacory and Rome. I think Rome is slowly going to work towards taking over this wide receiver one role in Chicago. Caleb, I think he should play better. He didn't really play great this past week. And then Jacory, man, I'm so excited to watch him play tonight. I could just talk for an hour and a half, but I'm not going to steal the show. So kick it to you, Chef.
Yeah, it's JCM and Rome for me. Rome's my wide receiver 22. JCM's my wide receiver 26.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm all in. I'm bought in on the breakout. I mean, he was out there. So it hit me like a ton of bricks, at some point in the offseason. It was like, there's only one guy who's going to be out here in 12 personnel all the time. And I would be willing to bet it's the guy who profiles as a prototypical X wide receiver. So it's Rome Odunze for me. And just getting a little confirmation bias with the target count and he scored a touchdown, it's wheels up.
Okay.
I like that. He knows what he's talking about.
I'm going to start moving these to one person answer, and then if somebody feels strongly, they can answer. Red Focus, Chev, Tillman, or Jaden Reed?
Tillman.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can give a little context. Don't worry. But we already.
Okay. I like Tillman. I have Tillman higher in my rankings. I think Tillman, like I said, he had his breakout game last year against Baltimore, and I think that this is sticky. Like, people forgot that him and Jerry Jeudy were 1A, 1B before he got concussified. So yeah, I'm going Tillman.
Okay. Michael Lopez said JCM over Walker, full PPR, have Henderson as my other starter, Sharp on the bench as well. Yeah, I'm gonna say Henderson, and I'm starting Walker over JCM. Matt, I'll let you give me a little comment here. I mean, you like Walker, you love JCM. Are you starting JCM over Walker?
I sure am. I'm chasing the upside. I like Jacory. I think he looked really, really good on tape. Limited opportunities, but when he had them, he performed extremely well. And I think Washington's only going to work him in more. I think this is a tough game, a close game. And when you have those, you need your playmakers out there. And Jacory is just that. I think he's going to be this backfield going forward.
Okay. Zach said start 2, Golden, Bill, or Montgomery. Matt, what do you got?
I'm going to go with Bill and Montgomery. I love Golden. I know you know that, Pete, but I want to see it first before I throw him in my lineup. And we know that Packers offense, they spread the ball all over the place. So give me Bill. I think he's got a safe floor. Give me Montgomery. The Lions are going to bounce back. They're not going to look like that 2 weeks in a row.
Okay. Chev, Tillman, Njoku, or Pittman in a half-point PPR this week?
I'll go Tillman. It's still Tillman. I mean, I think that we're ignoring. He's breaking out again. He's just showing you he's awesome at football again. So yeah,
he had a few drops last week.
He did. He dropped the one. That turned into an interception for sure. And
yeah, he dropped one more too, I think. But
yeah, ring rust.
Honestly, I think I think he looked like. I mean, outside Dylan Sampson, he looked like a target that they wanted to make sure got the ball.
Harold Fannin, bro, come on.
I might look stupid, I'm telling you, but I'm not doubting that Harold Fanning could be good. But
that's a dynasty play to me.
I just don't know how I'm dropping a bunch of fab on a guy that, I don't think consistently he's going to be a top 5 guy every single week.
It's what Chef said. It's a dynasty play. Totally agree.
Javi said, I'm almost 100% in on starting Pearsall in the flex, but would you start Bill or Sharbs over him at all, or is Ricky just in a great spot? I'm going to take the uncertainty with Ricky Pearsall. I would start Bill over Charbonnet, but I mean, I know Mac Jones is Mac Jones, but we saw Mac Jones look good for BTJ last year. It's a better environment this year. Everybody that steps into Kyle Shanahan's system as a quarterback seems to at least give us like average play. And Mac Jones had some solid weeks last year. And there's not a ton of targets in this offense right now with Kittle down, Juwan Jennings down. Saints defense is better than I think people expect, but I also think they're not great either. So no more Sean Lattimore there anymore. So he's on your team, right, Matt?
Do what? I'm sorry? Marshawn Lattimore? Yeah, he's going to step up big this week. Just wait.
Okay.
Pick 6 tonight. I feel it in the air.
Is he healthy?
Is he ever healthy? Is the real question.
That's why I had to ask the question.
Healthy enough to play, healthy enough to matter. I don't know. We'll see. God, I hope.
It's tough.
I'm pretty sure I could play corner for Washington. The amount of people we've rolled through.
Oh man.
All right. Well, Aldo said Debo, RJ, Ridley, Hollywood, half PPR. I'll give it to you, Chev.
Debo and Hollywood.
And Ridley.
Well, yeah.
Oh no, that was you picked.
Yeah, that's my pick.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I don't know where do I have Hollywood 32 and I
Yeah.
have Ridley. I have Ridley just a little higher. So, but I don't mind that. Aldo also said, "Would you start Golden tonight over Tillman or Pearsall?" I would not. I would not. Do you guys feel the same about that?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I agree.
All right, perfect. Cam Daddy said, "I am here." All right, Cam Daddy, well, you didn't resend in your question.
I'll
So
look for it.
all right, Matt will pull up your question. Keith said Jackson Dart, is he going to be starting soon, right? Value super flex. Yeah, super flex leagues, you should be grabbing Jackson Dart in super flex. Shouldn't be on waivers. As long as you can hold the roster spot, you should have him on your lineup.
Yes.
Steven said start T-Mac or Igbuka this week. I am going to start Igbuka. I have him one spot ahead of Tet this week. Brock Long.
Yeah. I disagree with that. I'm going Tetaroa.
It's hard. It's hard. I think ultimately Mike Evans is going to draw the top coverage in Stingley, and I think Ibuka should have another solid day. That's kind of how I look at it. And Will Johnson, we'll see, rookie on rookie this week. That'll be fun. Rock Long said, I also want your opinion. I have Drake London, Calvin Ridley, George Pickens, Dante Thornton, and Coker on IR. I had Mike Evans, but I just traded him for Rashee Rice. Is that a good trade? I think it's a fine trade. You're going to possibly have to be treading water and hope that you can get consistent play from Pickens and Ridley. So, I mean, I'd be a little sketched out. You just got to hope that those guys, I mean, Drake London's dealing with the injury, right? He's going to probably play, but how much does that affect him? And then Calvin Ridley and Pickens, right? Like you just got to hope that those guys get going, where Mike Evans has some tough matchups too, but he would have been more consistent. So I have a little concern that you might get behind a little bit and have to play catch up by the time Rashee Rice comes back, which is why I've had concerns drafting Rashee Rice all season long when everyone kept saying, like, I think people forget best ball completely different. You don't got to worry about managing and who you're putting in your lineup every week, but like redraft, like 6 weeks is a long time. And there's a bye week in between that. So you're really losing him for 7. And so you better hope that after 7 weeks, you're in a good spot. So Matt, what do you think, man?
I'm totally with you. I wouldn't say he's completely screwed, but I would be concerned. That's where I'm at. I think like you said, he might be treading water. Don't know what your record is. Your running backs, I hope they're pretty stable and some heavy hitters because, I mean, Calvin Ridley, George Pickens, that hurt you week 1. And week 2, you can only hope for the bounce back. But I do have Cam's question whenever we're ready. But Chev, go ahead.
Yeah,
if you want to say something.
Yeah, Chev, go, and then you can pull him up.
No, man. I mean, you kind of hit the nail on the head. At first, I was like, you've got the wide receiver depth, but this is spooky. You're introducing a level of variability to your lineup that's going to make things real uncomfortable. So, yeah, Godspeed, my friend.
Matt, let's get Cam's question. Says, hey, guys, need help with the start set. 10-man half PPR. Currently have Scary Terry and Ladd starting. Xavier Worthy is here, but he managed to get hurt. So we've got Hollywood that he picked up. Would you start him over Scary Terry? I'm not. I'm playing Terry McLaurin tonight. He's always been the guy that takes one play for him to win the week, and I think he's going to continue to be well. I mean, he was one play away from having a much better day than he had this past week, and he could have easily had 12 or 13 points with that big play they just barely missed.
Yeah.
Okay. Chef, what do you think?
Agree.
Okay. I'm with you guys there too. Let's see. I think we already answered this one.
Yes.
Yeah, we answered that. Janine Whipple or Jenny Whipple said Travis Kelce or Tucker Kraft. I moved Travis down a little bit in the rankings this week. He's at 6. Tucker Kraft's at 7. I actually think I should probably maybe have Hawkinson ahead of Tucker Kraft. Probably. I might change it after the show, but ultimately, yeah, I would start Travis Kelce over Tucker Kraft. It's kind of close though, man. I mean, those linebackers for the Eagles are really good, man. Really, really good.
I think you and I are just higher on Tucker Kraft than everyone else. I know at one point in time this past summer we had him the same in our dynasty rankings, and it was way higher than everyone else. Oh,
It's probably
Shad.
the wrong panel to ask the question.
You're a craft man too.
Yeah. That was like, that's my breakout candidate. Bring home the I do a segment called Bring Home the Bacon. Tucker Kraft was the tight end that I believe is going to take that next step into stardom this year.
I love it.
Jamie said flexing Chev in all my leagues, winning formula.
0-13.
Millie Mills said pick 2 for a flex, half PPR, Egbuka, Sutton, Jalen Warren, K9, Pickens. I'm starting Sutton. I have Sutton extremely high in my rankings this week. Both Colts starting corners are down this week. He looked good. He looked like the most consistent guy. I have Sutton at 13 this week. I'm rolling with Sutton, and I'm gonna roll with Egbuka over Kenneth Walker too. It would be Kenneth Walker would be my third option, but I'll go with Egbuka and Sutton.
Yeah, I think I like. Well, I think I'm gonna go Sutton. We'll go with Egbuka. I'm not gonna get cute here. We're gonna go with Egbuka. George Pickens has a nearly unlimited ceiling this week. I don't understand. Cordell Flott's about to have a really bad day for the Giants.
Yep, I would go Sutton Pickens. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, that was where I was leaning. I was like, it's just so much safer. And also, I'm a giant George Pickens apologist, so I'm always like, he's just one play away. He's one play away. So yeah, I'm trying to fight that urge now.
Okay, that's fair. Sorry, I'm over here answering
Pete, focus,
other
man.
questions here.
Focus.
Well, we're getting questions in our Discord too. Red Focus said Jaden Reed, Cedric Tillman, Ricky Pearsall, and RJ Harvey pick 2. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Ricky Pearsall, and I'll go with Cedric Tillman. Love Harvey, just not there yet to start him.
Yep.
So I think we're probably all in alignment there. Zero Skills said, good afternoon, fellas. PPR scared Terry tonight or hold off for Javonte Williams. I think we all agree it's Terry, right?
Yep.
Okay. It's Terry.
I'm sorry. Yes. Yeah.
That's all right. Peter D said Purdy out for several weeks. Mac Jones is up. Kind of feel like Pearsall's stock value could either go down depending on how Mac Jones starts. Should I drop Pearsall and pick up Keenan? No. Peter, no. Don't even do that. No. Don't do that. Yeah. Zero Skill said missed the cutoff by 1. LOL. Resend. Good afternoon. Oh yeah, we already answered this, but appreciate that. Micah, Alex, and Mitchell. So I don't know if there's 3 people in here. Should I start Terry this week? Yes, I think you should. Nino said need help flexing 1. JCM, Ridley, Sampson, Swift, full PPR. Yeah, I'll go with Ja'Cory Koski Merritt here. Ridley would be the second, and then I have it Swift and then Sampson. But anybody have any objection there?
Nope, same order.
No.
Okay. Dylan Fink said Tucker Kraft tonight against Washington or Juwan against San Francisco. I'm already starting Daniels and JCM tonight, so I'm scared to play 3 guys tonight as Thursday Night Football is not always the most exciting in terms of fantasy points. Yeah, I mean, I'm still going to go with Tucker Kraft, but I could tell you now, I think Tucker Kraft has a bigger chance to let you down than Juwan Jennings.
Absolutely.
As crazy as it sounds, but
absolutely. Juwan is the perfect yin and yang tight end. Like if you follow Andrew Cooper stuff at all, the tight end whisperer, like Juwan's a part, and he got insane volume. He was out there this is the first time he's ever been a full-time player. So with what's his face, the other guy, the other tight end they have that they just play randomly at different points, and Taysom Hill probably isn't going to play.
Moreau.
Yeah, Foster Moreau. That's his name. I could not think of his name for the life of me.
Hill's out for the year, I think.
Yeah. So like Juwan Johnson is out there. He's the guy. I mean, you had 13 targets for Olave. They threw the ball 46 times, so I don't know how much of this is fake news in terms of the target counts, but he had 11 targets. Olave had 13, Rashid had 9. If he's going to get, be second in the pecking, that's exactly what you want from a tight end. And you just picked him up off waivers. He's still on waivers in the league that I'm in right now.
Okay. I'm with you. Yeah, I think Jennings has a chance for higher volume here. Juwan Johnson, not Jennings.
Yeah.
I think he has a higher chance for volume. Exotic Lord said, trade Lab McConkey for Kyron Williams and Jaden Reed. Someone sent me this trade half PPR. I think it depends on, it depends on what your running back situation looks like. I would say you're fine going either way, depending on if you need a running back or a wide receiver. It's nice that you get Jaden Reed on top with Kyron Williams, which makes me lean Kyron. But with the foot for Jaden Reed, I don't know how long he survives this season.
Yeah, I think you need context really more than anything. Is Kyron your RB2 or is Kyron your RB3 or 4?
Yeah, especially when you're moving a running back. I mean, that are two guys that are really close to each other in general. So yeah, if Kyron's running back 3, then sure. But if he's your RB2, RB1,
Or I'm sorry,
uh,
we're moving for Kyron. I read that wrong. My bad. But go ahead.
yeah. Oh yeah, well now I read it wrong too. So yeah, just a little more context if you can. How do y'all think Terry does tonight? I think Terry does okay.
He does great, Pete. Come on, have some confidence. He
Jared,
scores. He scores tonight.
Jared Forden said Kyler Murray or Rodgers this week. I mean, it's Kyler by a country mile for me.
Yes.
Oh, come on, Pete. You're the biggest Rodgers fan I know. You want to say Rodgers.
I don't want to say Rodgers. I think
Yeah,
Seattle
it's
could give him
Kyler
some
Murray.
trouble, man. Nino, bring home the bacon. Shout out to Chev. Maddox McLeod said JCM or Travis Hunter this week. Matt, let's
Oof.
have you answer this one,
Oof,
buddy.
that's tough. There's two guys I really like. I'm going to go Travis Hunter. I thought he played well. I thought he looked good. I like his involvement. I think he's going to continue to get better. So I'm going to go with Travis Hunter, although I love Jacory. So that's close with anything.
Okay. Chev, you agree with that?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think people realize how tough this Packers defense is, or how tough it's going to be. So give me Travis Hunter. I want as many pieces of the Jacksonville and Bengals game as I can get. So Travis Hunter is going to be in my lineup. If I drafted him, he's in my lineup this week. This is the situation that you wanted for him to be in.
Yeah, I mean, if you sat here before the season started, you'd easily say Travis Hunter, right? Bengals defense sucks. Jacory Cross-Merritt uncertain. 1 week with JCM, you're feeling good. I think ultimately, I would go Travis Hunter too, but I think the floor is higher with JCM. So do with that what you will. Tay Kurth said, "How do you feel about the Packers defense tonight?" Yeah, I like the Packers defense. I think ultimately, Jaden Daniels, for as good as he is, he can take some sacks. I mean, we saw a bad defense in the Saints last year sack him like 6 or 7 times in a game. I think Jaden Daniels is going to be fine tonight, but I worry about Connerly on the right side taking on Micah Parsons. I think there could be some issues there. And Terry McLaurin still shaking off the rest. I think he'll be okay tonight. I'm not expecting a monster game from Terry against the secondary, but ultimately I have the Packers at 10. So I think that's a fair spot. I don't have them super high, but I don't have them outside the top 10. You guys, I don't know where you guys feel that way, if you guys want to weigh in or if we should move on.
Well, I wanted to ask you, Pete, because they do have such a juicy matchup in week 3, like you could find a better play for this week, but also, I mean, if you don't want to just waste a roster spot, you just live with what happens. And then in week 3, they have a juicy matchup. Hold on. I'm going to tell you exactly who they have in week 3.
Yeah, I think the problem that I worry about is that Jaden's not going to turn the ball over much, probably, unless he melts down. And so you're really hoping for sacks with Jaden.
Right. I mean, Connerly looked. You mentioned it at the top of the show.
Bad.
Connerly looked, and I mean, you still got to deal with Rashawn Gary, Devontae Wyatt. We were talking over the summer about Joe Hafley and how he manages sim prep. Like, even though Jaden Daniels is sharp, like I think they're going to be able to throw looks at him that make him slightly uncomfortable. So we might be able to get a fumble, some sacks, some coverage sacks, just those things that could turn the tide in our favor. And then they get Cleveland in week 3. So that's what I'm kind of looking at if I'm making a decision about the Packers defense tonight.
I mean, is Cleveland a juicy matchup? I don't even know. Are they?
I mean,
everyone has. I mean, I have Baltimore high, but I don't have them at number 1 this week.
No,
I have Baltimore as my number 4. And even that I feel like is I don't know. I mean, is the Bengals like an offense that you want to target?
the Bengals or
like defensively, if you want to start defenses again. I'm not the Bengals, the Browns.
Browns.
Yeah.
See, that's the question. I mean, we're still so early into this. I mean, like
the
I think
offensive line is still good.
yeah.
But again, I mean, they also got a little. I mean, they couldn't really do much against the Bengals defense. I don't know.
That's my thing. Is like we thought the Bengals defense was going to be one basically like the Midwest version of the fucking Carolina Panthers, and they came out and looked solid last week in spots, right? Well, I won't say solid. I mean, they got 2 interceptions. Two. Were they both on drops? Either way, they got two interceptions. So I'm looking ahead to that matchup because I think we could maybe make some hay. But that was just I wanted to ask your opinion on
No,
that.
I know.
Sure.
I think it's a valid question because I thought I sat here and thought about it before we even got on, and I don't know. I mean, it's a good offensive line. I think it really depends on Flacco and how we've seen him have really bad games last year too. So I think we'll see what happens. We have a couple more minutes, guys, and then we're gonna roll out of here. So we'll try to get to all the questions that we have left. I do want to make sure that you guys are aware that we do have another show kicking off right at the end of this. It is going to be, betting picks as well as just preview and still answer any other start sit questions that we don't answer from Will and Ernie. Access MIA said flex Devonta Smith, Pittman, or Tracy. I don't really like any of these guys this week. I think I'm going to go with Tracy for maybe a little bit of a bounce back between Tracy and Smith. I'm not starting Pittman against Denver. I have Tracy at 33. I have Devonta Smith at like 39.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. What?
39? Oof.
Against the Chiefs? 38.
I like Smith this week. I really do.
Yeah, I like Smith a lot too.
I like AJ this week. I have concerns about
here we go.
I like AJ this week. I like
AJ gets McDuffie. And that's not ideal.
Does he though? Does he get McDuffie the whole time, you think?
Probably. I mean, more than Devonta Smith will.
I gotta look this up.
Good thinking, Chef.
McDuffie is tough, man. I like McDuffie a lot.
So I gotta look this up.
We got your question, man.
I want to see though. I want to see the Super Bowl matchup and see if McDuffie who he played on more. I'm also curious to see if McDuffie covered Ladd all last week or what happened. You know what I mean? I'm curious to see that.
Should have been on QJ, bro.
I know. I'll let you guys answer. Well, okay. So you guys are starting Smith over Tracy and Pittman then?
Yeah,
I am. Yeah.
I'm damn near a Michael Pittman denier, bro. I don't want Michael Pittman near any of my life. That's like the one. I don't think I have any. I have one share of Michael Pittman.
I have one share as well.
Yeah. I thought he looked better. I'll be honest. I thought Pittman looked better.
He did.
Daniel Jones playing is going to help him a ton.
He did.
I'm concerned with Tracy. He put the ball on the ground once, and one time that didn't count. That's been a problem for him. Maybe Scott gets some more opportunities, man. Just saying.
I know. Tracy, dude.
Supposed to be working on that grip strength. He didn't do it.
Yeah, it's Tracy, dude. I can't. He fumbled in preseason again, and there was a penalty.
Yep.
So yeah,
it's a problem. Can't do it.
Red Focus said, thanks for answering the question. You guys always come in clutch. Appreciate it, man. Iggy said, should I drop Purdy? I picked up Caleb. I have an offer to get JJ and Tillman, but I'll have to give up Rashee Rice. If it's Justin Jefferson, yes. I don't know if it's I don't know what other JJ that is. Juwan Jennings,
McCarthy.
JJ McCarthy. I think it probably is JJ McCarthy. I don't know. Are you 1-0? Is Rashee Rice like, I mean,
your wide receiver.
What's your receiver? Yeah, I was gonna say, is Tillman your wide receiver 3? Would you be giving him up? If he's with Tillman's your wide receiver 4 or 5, I'm okay. I'm doing this for sure.
Yeah, no,
I might actually be doing this still. I mean, I can't imagine Tillman is wide receiver 3.
I'm not.
No, he's giving up Rashee Rice to get Tillman and JJ.
Oh, he has to give up Rice. Oh,
yes.
No, not doing it.
Yeah.
Not doing it. What's up, guys? How are we feeling about Packers DST tonight? We just talked about it a little bit. I have him ranked at 10. 3P1C said Kraft or Andrews this week. I have Kraft. You guys?
Kraft.
Okay. Matt, start pulling questions here because I'm trying to look up that McDuffie thing.
I know Ibuka stock is going crazy, but I got for BTJ for Ibuka and DJ Moore. What's your thoughts, Chev?
Whew. BTJ for Ibuka and DJ Moore. Yeah, I would take BTJ.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah.
Hi guys, Quentin Johnson or Jerry Judy? I mean, do you buy the hype of week one, Chev? I don't know if you guys have talked about QJ at all, so I have no clue where your stance is there.
I still got to go Jerry Judy. Like
Okay.
if I'm the reason that you have a guy like Quentin Johnson on your roster is to get a guy like Jerry, like to be able to tier up to a guy like Jerry Judy, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I just don't think it's sticky at all. And you've got a guy who's going to be one of the top targets in the offense to a guy who's going to get what's left over between Ladd and Keenan in the run game.
Yeah, I want to see it again too. Exotic Lord says I have Chase Brown and Kamara as my running backs and Lamb as Neighbor as my wide receivers, who I just traded for. I don't know if this is in part of a previous question, but I like the unit. But let's carry on. Epic Fail says pick 2, Debo, Pickens, Ridley, or Odunze. I think we had a similar question, if not the same question. I think we went Debo and Odunze, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Okay. Taylor Kurth says appreciate the response. He's rolling with Green Bay. Good luck, Taylor. Jason Poole says, guys, I missed your answers for my question. Sorry, Flex 1, T-Mac, Keenan Allen, Keon, or Pearsall. Chev, which one are you starting?
T-Mac.
I would go T-Mac as well. I think that's the upside and the safe play, really, in my opinion. Yeah. I love the A.J. Brown this week. Oh, God. What could go wrong? What could go wrong? Access MIS says, yeah, Devontae Smith stinks, so I know. Hey, we'll see. I think he's going to be good this week.
By the way, so I can't tell how many snaps, but in the Super Bowl, AJ caught 2 passes for 31 on 3 targets against McDuffie, and Devonta caught 1 for 8. But I can't tell how many snaps they were matched up on. So, for what it's worth,
who caught that deep bomb touchdown? I don't remember.
Devonta.
Oh, that's right. I like that guy.
You just don't like AJ.
I don't. I don't think he's as good as you do, but that's fine. Wyatt, PPR, Eckler, or Jordan Mason this week, Pete?
Mason.
Yeah,
I have Mason in my top 26. I have him and Aaron Jones like back to back because I don't know which one's going to be the guy, but one of them is gonna fuck up Atlanta's defense. I think
probably. Yeah. Jamie says he has dynasty team starting Tillman, Judy, and Sampson. Should I bench one for Golden? I would be tempted to bench Sampson for Golden, but I'm in the camp of I want to see it again from Sampson, to be honest.
Yeah, I
just struggle starting 3 Browns.
Yeah, that's less than ideal. So let's just get Golden in there just to dilute some of that Cleveland Browns in your lineup. That's just less than ideal.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
Yep. Danny A, start 2, Neighbors, T. Higgins, Pearsall, or Sutton, Pete?
Sutton. Oh, whoa. And Neighbors and Sutton. I have Sutton ahead of T. Higgins this week.
Yeah, Neighbors and Sutton.
I'm going T and Neighbors.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm a big T believer. Rashee Rice is a free agent. Is he a must-have right now or wait? I could use some help at wide receiver. If you can manage it, I would totally do it. And I think both of you would agree.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Pete, because this is your guy, Denny says start Love or Nix.
Next.
And
it's risky with Nix. Love might give you a floor, but I mean, the down to both starting corners after a bad week last week. And I'll say this. Sean Payton even came out. The thing that makes Sean Payton so good is that he switches up his personnel so much, right? The different groupings of players, guys get subbed in, guys get subbed out. The problem with that is it takes so long to get guys on and off the field, but it creates so many different issues for defenses. And Bo Nix and them, like after the first drive that was scripted, it was good, right? And then he melted down. Like they just kept getting to the line of scrimmage with like 8 seconds left. It was just an absolute disaster. So I'll go with Nix. I think they'll make it a point to bounce back. I think Peyton's stubborn and is not gonna allow that taste in people's mouths, and he's gonna ride or die with Nix this week, and he's gonna throw the ball a ton. So
we've got a couple more, and then we got to get out of here because I know the next show starts. So we'll go quick. Chev, Andrew asks McLaurin, Moore, or Igbuka this week.
McLaurin. Ugh.
Okay. I'm going to take this one. Clark says Ridley or Travis Hunter. I'm going to go Travis Hunter. But I do think Ridley plays better this week. Pete, you get the final question tonight. Dynasty Frenzy says, thoughts on this trade? Neighbors and McBride for Henderson, McConkey, and Hawkinson.
Okay, you said Neighbors, McBride versus Henderson, McConkey. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Neighbors.
Neighbors, McBride in every context.
Yeah, Neighbors and McBride versus Henderson. Is this just okay? Yeah, I mean Neighbors, McBride. Yeah, I mean that's easy for me.
Yes.
I think that is it.
Yep.
I'm gonna go ahead and push everybody over to the other show that is currently live right now. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the betting fantasy preview for Thursday Night Football. Ask those guys questions. If you still are here and your answers didn't get answered, you're about to be redirected right over there to their show. Thanks. Oh wait, Andrew Winkler said he got skipped. I didn't see it.
I said McLaurin.
We said McLaurin.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We said McLaurin. All right. See you guys. I think.
All right, boys. My wife needs me. I got to jump.
All right, nice to meet you, Jeff.
I don't think I got it yet.
I don't think it ended.
We're still rolling.
Use the premiere or search for another.
Terry McLaurin scores 24 points tonight. Ja'Cory scores 24 points tonight.
Choose another premiere.
We become the NFC East leaders at 2-0. So
we're still recording.
I know we are.
I'm just still in the air, man. Just trying.
I did what I was supposed to do. It's supposed to send everybody over.
I'm gonna go. All right.
See you, Chef.
See you, Chef.
And while we work through these technical difficulties, it's time for our next question here. Michael says, "Need your help start Debo, JMO, or Ricky in the flex?" I'm gonna go with Debo, but
just keep answering questions.
Who the heck knows? Hey, I'm here, Michael. You fire away. I'm ready to answer your questions. I like Debo this week. The Pearsall play, I get it. I am a little concerned with Mac Jones. I think while he did stabilize Travis Hunter for a little while, I want to see it first, really, from Mac. I think the biggest winner this week with a quarterback going down possibly midweek is going to be Christian McCaffrey. So I like CMC this week. He's my RB1. I think he's going to be fantastic. Get a ton of workload. And Pete's going to continue to figure out how to do it. We have no other questions. But just good luck tonight. So thank you. Good luck to you tonight. We appreciate your support. You've been here every single week. So thank you for that.
Yeah, I think I figured it out. All right, guys. Enjoy the show. We'll see you guys next time.